refugees caught in a lockdown. No escape from the family. Don't touch your eyes. Just hand sanitize quickly. I'm just a poor boy, no job security. Cause I'm easy spread, even though I wash my hands laying low. I look out the window, cup doesn't look flatter to me.
I'd like me a splash of whiskey to wash the trail dust off in my gullet and keep my singing voice in fiddle.
Whiskey's illegal. This is a dry county.
Well, what are they drinking?
Whiskey. These outlaws.
Oh, well, don't let my white duds and pleasant demeanor fool you. I, too, have been known to violate the statutes of man, and not a few of the laws of the Almighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
It's day whatever of the coronavirus lockdown, stay at home,
shut in.
I have been known to violate the laws of man and God on occasion. I do not have whiskey today.
Nor I.
I do have Patron Exo Cafe Dark Cocoa. I bought this bottle 5 years ago, and I think I've had one shot of it, and I haven't had any since. So I thought, well, today's the day, because I'm not working, and I got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And I figure it might help. I did work yesterday quite a bit, so my knees are hurting big time. Yeah. Oh, my God. These trucks we drive, they're Isuzus, and you've probably seen them out on the road. And they're very good trucks. They're very maneuverable. They're very, very good sight lines, the whole 9 yards. But for whatever reason, they're made for people whose knees bend, and mine do not. And by the time I get done with the day, I'm ready to quit.
Yeah, I bet. My dad, I actually learned to drive a stick in a Isuzu. We had an Isuzu truck. So that was interesting.
I like it. So I'm taking 800 milligrams of ibuprofen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's my drug of the day. Ibuprofen. What's yours?
Yeah. Well, I'm taking some muscle relaxants because my back has been killing me.
Is that why you're not drinking?
That's why I'm not drinking. I tried drinking with the muscle relaxants that they do not recommend. And it makes you a little loopy.
I mean, at this point, who's going to care?
No, it's true. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. That's kind of my point. None of us are. Nobody's going nowhere. So what difference does it make if we drink or not? So are you, your back is hurting, but you're working from home.
Yes.
So are you just not getting enough exercise?
We've been trying to go out for walks, but I think it's that. I think it's not stretching enough. I do not have an office chair that I sit in now most of the day.
Well, you should fix that.
I should. They're like on 3-week back order. So by the time I get it, the sequester will be done.
Because they're non-essential.
Because it's not essential.
Hey, the good news is, I don't know if you knew this or not, but the good news is the FBI tweeted the other day.
Oh, did they?
I don't know if you saw this or not, but they did this on Monday. And of course, today is not Monday, but download the FBI physical fitness test app. So you can actually download the FBI's physical fitness app and take the FBI's physical fitness test.
Okay. I wonder what they do with the information they collect.
Well, one of the things that they ask you for when you download the FBI's physical fitness test app is to enter your GPS location.
Oh, great.
The FBI. What was the line? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the FBI. You ask for miracles, I give you the FBI. Okay. How'd you like to be the genius at the FBI that came up with this?
Yeah.
So you're sitting in your office at the FBI and you go, hey, I got a great idea. Let's put out an app so people can pretend they're FBI agents getting ready to be an FBI agent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just enter your height, your weight, your birth date,
your email address, your physical location. The next day, the guy's coming to your office. Hey, Ted, we need to talk. They're on to us.
I could see they're going to do the security challenge. Please enter your mother's maiden name. What's your first pet? They're collecting all this information.
What city did you meet your spouse in? Do you actually answer those? I make up answers, which is dangerous because then I don't remember what I made up.
Yeah, that's a problem. I sometimes answer those. You're not supposed to. From a security practice, they tell you to make stuff up and be specific at what you're making it up so you're consistent so that you remember it.
What do you think? I was going to say, because they're not checking it. I mean, they're not going from website. Well, maybe the FBI is. Maybe the FBI is going from website to website going, on Pornhub, he said he was in Texas, and on X-Hamster, he was in Mexico.
I'm going to have to read that privacy policy they have linked to that app. I'm sure it's a doozy.
Oh, God. I just can't even imagine that they actually tweeted this, download the FBI's physical fitness app. And then this, it's like, this is in the middle of the coronavirus whole thing, right? Because people are, do not, and we cannot stress this part enough, do not download this app, tweeted, fight for the future. Another distrustful user snarked, quote, looking to get ripped while ceding your location data to the FBI? Boy, do we have an app for you. I just, it's things like that, okay? Things like that, Rod, that cause me, when I get up in the morning, to go, I'm feeling good. I have confidence in my government. I think we're going the right direction. I think we're handling things the right way. And then the FBI says, download our physical fitness app. And I think to myself, it's the same government.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
So I'm going to the app store as we speak. I got to look at this thing.
Oh man. What if you have to download it? Cause don't they track your cookies or something? Right.
They can. I mean, it depends on what permissions you give them when you install it.
No, I mean, before when you're going, see, they got a link here. It says, click on this link to download it. Right, from my computer. So I'm thinking to myself, doesn't the FBI already know that I'm an out of shape slob? And
well, they could from the cookies if they're harvesting your cookies.
Let's click on this just to see what happens. Kids, don't do this at home, or get your parents' permission first. Okay, so
there's 10,000 plus downloads from the App Store. So 10,000 people have downloaded and installed this thing.
That's less people than have the corona.
Yeah.
So it took me to the FBI news page, which I didn't even know they had. Did you?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they have a whole marketing team
to market the FBI.
Yeah.
Does anybody not know about the FBI?
I don't think it's for general awareness. I think it's to help sway their public opinion about them.
I thought Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. already did that. Didn't they remake that show too? I mean, isn't there a new show on television now called the FBI? I think there is.
I don't know.
Oh, let's have some fun. It's got a video. Let's see if this will work. I'm going to click on the video.
Okay.
Oh, is it just music? That's all it is. It's just music over a run through of the app. Watch videos that demonstrate proper form and procedures for each component of the test. Well, that's boring. Way to go, FBI. Way to really drag me in.
With that cheesy music, no less.
Why didn't they get Dana Scully to do that? I would watch that.
That'd be great. Mulder and Scully
to do this app, right? Because then I want to believe that you're really not going to use this app. Let's see. Key features. Watch videos that demonstrate proper form and procedures for each component of the test. Try the full physical fitness test with the latest FBI scoring system, the latest one because they change, and protocol used for applicants. And use your phone's GPS and accelerometer for more realistic PFT experience.
Yeah. Is it one of those apps that tells you what age they guess you are when it's done?
I don't know, man. I'm just thinking that if I'm the FBI, I'm glad that there's a coronavirus thing going on right now, because if this was the main story in the news right now,
oh my God, so much fun.
Some junior employee somewhere would get fired, right?
Yeah.
Why am I being blamed for this? It wasn't my idea.
You told me to make it.
You have that in writing? No. First lesson of the FBI, get everything in writing.
We can neither confirm nor deny. We asked you to make that app.
So anyway, people, if you're having problems exercising, the FBI's got an app for that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the CIA doesn't have one.
And if you actually try it, hey, let us know.
Don't let me know. I don't want to. If you actually use this app, I don't want to know anything about you at all. Nothing. I don't know you. You are dead to me. Speaking of the government, you know what this is? See, he can see this. I know the rest of us can't, because even though we're 900 miles away, it's the 21st century, people, and we have technology. So this is a bottle of pills.
Yes.
That I got today from the VA. Do you know why that's remarkable to me?
How long did it take to get?
Well, oddly enough, it only took, what is today? 29, took 2 days.
That's not bad.
Well, except for one problem. You want to take a stab at what the problem is?
Wrong medication.
Oh God, no. That wouldn't be remarkable at all. What's wrong is this is one bottle of pills, and it's supposed to be 7. So the VA, right? We recounted all my VA issues before.
Oh, yeah.
So they finally get around to, okay, we're going to do your appointment via teleconference.
Okay.
Okay. Because we have to. That's, So we did the teleconference thing, which is problematic because I'm dealing with a very nice nurse practitioner, I guess, who is she's great. Don't get me wrong, but she is she's not a techno person at all. So for her, it was what should have taken 5 minutes took about 40. And when the whole thing was said and done, she ordered all my meds, which is great. And now they dribble in one at a time. See, I don't get this. They're 90-day supplies, right?
Yeah.
But they all come in over the course of 2 to 3 weeks. They've done this before.
That's just silly.
Yeah, and I don't get it. So
maybe they're waiting for deliveries from China.
You think? Boy, that's going to change, isn't it?
It should.
See, now everybody's uptight about these ventilators. Everybody's having conniption fit one way or the other about the ventilators. The military is inventing new ventilators. I don't know if you saw that or not. The president says, why do you need so many ventilators? The governors are saying we got to have 300,000 ventilators per hospital, I guess. That's what Cuomo said the other day. What did he say? We need like 300 or 400,000 ventilators. And I'm thinking to myself, it just doesn't add up. These numbers are so bizarre to me, and they keep getting more and more bizarre to me. And I've come to a conclusion, Rod. I've come to a simple conclusion about this. There are 3 things about this coronavirus, whatever the hell we want to call it. We need a name. The great corona. It's not beer. I don't know.
No.
Send us your suggestions for names.
Yeah. There you go.
Whatever the hell this is, I've come up to 3 conclusions about it. Number 1, I'm extraordinarily blessed. I happen to work in an industry which is making bank on this nonsense. Okay. I normally work between 10 and 15 hours a week. Normally. I just got done with my week having worked about 35.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. The other thing about it is we're not supposed to accept tips when we have it in our thing. We don't accept tips. And so I've run into at least a dozen people who have said to me specifically, this is not a tip. This is gratitude. Okay. And
which is a gratuity.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is you can't really argue with the customer.
No.
And because it's rude and you don't do that. And the vast majority of the customers have been extraordinarily nice and very, I don't want to say cooperative, but they've been very pleasant and very happy to see us and, very excited in some cases. Of course, there's always that one guy that's got to be a dick about things, but it was just one guy. So it's like, okay, he started in on me. I swear to God, Ron, he started using language that I don't use. Okay. And I looked at him and I basically said, look, I'm sorry I nicked your rock coming into your driveway. Because that's what I did. I nicked a rock. And I said to him, do you by chance have dolphins on your chest? And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, well, then you don't get to talk to me that way. Do you want your groceries on your porch or right here in your driveway?
That wasn't the 2 bag of chips guy, was it?
No. This was a guy. So I do things, we classify people. You know how we do that. You see people. So when it comes to what I do, there's basically 4 groups of people. General. These are very general and there's nothing official. So don't write my company going, you classify. This is just me. Okay. So there's the old, infirm, and disabled people that are genuinely needful of that service. And more often than not, you have to take it in for them because they're in wheelchairs or whatever. I enjoy those people. Then there's what I call the harried, the mom with 8 kids that doesn't want to take all 8 kids to the grocery store, dad's at work or whatever. And I don't mind those. In fact, I have one of those that she lines up her kids. They're like 12 down and they just sort of stores loaded into the house. It's kind of cool to watch. Then there's I call them the stoners, but they're really stoners, gamers, introverts, people that don't like to go outside, people that don't like to talk to anybody else. And they're kind of cool, especially the stoners, because they're like, yeah, man, you don't want to go in the house because it's like, Jesus, I don't want to get contact high here. So they're kind
of work.
And those are the people that they're very grateful if you get my drift. They're very, because they don't count anyway. I mean, they don't know how to, they're gone. So they don't even know what they're doing. And then there's what I call them the BIs, but that stands for something that I'm not going to say because I'll give it away, but they're the really, they don't need, you're just a service to them and they treat you like a servant. Okay. And that's what this guy was. And he started in on me. I'm like, dude, now is not the time to be yelling at service industry people for something really ridiculous. I said, I'll call it into our insurance. You can call them. I'm sure they'll be happy to come out here and landscape your rock for you.
Polish your rock.
Damn. I mean, I took pictures. I took like 13 pictures of this thing. And I sent them to the insurance guy. And the insurance guy's like, what am I looking for? I'm like, you don't see it?
That's too funny.
So that's been my adventures. You holding up all right? I mean, other than your back hurting.
Yeah, a bit different. I was actually on a table in my living room where my kids would be playing or my son would be playing Xbox. And so I'm trying to carry on business conference calls and my son's yelling at the people on the Xbox. I'm like, that's not going to work. So now I'm in a spare room.
I saw a tweet from some guy the other day that was talking about, I was working from home and I was on a conference call and my child was doing something at the other end of the table. And I guess the child said something or did something and that's become the new norm, I guess.
Pretty much. I always hear kids in the background when we're doing, like departmental calls and stuff like that. My dogs bark periodically.
Well, Ben knows when the door is closed on my office not to come in, but I'm almost at the point now where I might as well just open it up and say the hell with it. And People.
My kids are teenagers, so they don't want to see me anyway.
God, that scares me. Oh, that scares me. Ben has decided, so as part of social isolation, I guess, one of my daughters adult daughters who has a room here is staying somewhere else. Okay, because it's a work person, so don't try to make any sense of it. If you try to make sense of this, it won't work. But so she's somewhere else. So he has been sleeping in her room. And he's made a big deal about the fact, because literally since he was a child, he's been sleeping in our room because we just didn't have room for anywhere else, because we've always had adult children and grandchildren and everything else. So he's making a big deal about, I'm sleeping in here by myself. It's like on the one hand, I'm cool with that. But on the other hand, I'm like, my Cammy turns to me last night and says, he's growing up. And I looked at her and said, I'm going to need a dog. Because I'm not going to deal well with this at all. I can't even wait for him to be a teenager and ignore me.
Yeah.
And you should see his hair.
They do. They ignore the heck out of you, especially when there's work to be done.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's what I did.
Yeah.
His hair looks so ridiculous. It is the shaggiest, he's got like one Spock sideburn that comes down to his chin, and one that kind of sticks out straight. And I keep saying we should just shave it off. He's like, no. And my hair is driving me nuts. I put the picture on Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that's not even the good one. The Twitter one is even better, I think, because it's just like, but it's driving me. And my hair, and everybody's like, oh, you have hair. But what they don't get is my hair, for some reason, when it's pollen season, my hair just collects pollen. Really? And I don't know why. It's like I have bee hair or something. And you can see my eyes are just like constantly this time of year, and I hate it. It was worse down in Modesto, but here it's bad. But
I can honestly say I've never had that problem.
That's why I shaved my head, man. That's why I have very short hair, because otherwise it's like crap. Just drives me up a wall. None of which has anything to do with what we were going to talk about. But
no, we're just kind of gabbing.
I don't even remember what we were talking about, but it's probably a good thing because the FBI is listening, I'm sure.
Well, I know that as soon as we started talking about their app, they wanted to know.
Keep waiting for the text to pop up saying, "Hey, Dave, can you talk a little closer to the microphone? Can you?" God.
Next thing you know, you're going to be able to buy weights through the app. Workout equipment.
FBI starts selling you T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Female body inspector, right?
Yeah. Better than the TSA.
Oh God. Yeah. Don't even get me started. So they said the other day that the Seattle airport traffic here is down like 90%, and they're still trying to hire TSA agents.
Why?
I have no idea, but I'm tempted to go do it because now's the time to be a TSA agent, right?
Yeah. What are you going to do? Have 3 people do a strip search of somebody just because
I have no idea, but that strip search is going to take a long time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be more selective, I can tell you that. Her, and her. I'm just kidding. I'm not a TSA agent. It doesn't matter.
Dave, you're supposed to be wearing rubber gloves.
So I ordered a pizza today because Ben wanted pizza, right?
Yeah.
I ordered the pizza. I'm not going to tell you what chain it was, but it's the flat one with the dots on the top of it. Okay. So I used their app thing to do this. And I didn't want the contactless delivery because I think that's pretty absurd, but I have the blue gloves. I don't know what I did with them. They were right here, but I have the blue plastic gloves.
Yeah.
The protective gloves. So I was going to put those on to take the pizza and give him his tip and go on his way. Because I'm in that same industry, so I know that these, tips are nice. And pizza drivers aren't forbidden to take tips. So, I'll pass on some of the love, right?
Yeah.
So I order the pizza. It says, "Thank you for your order. It's in the oven. It's being checked. Ryan is out the door on his way to deliver it." Ding. And then it says, Ryan has arrived with your pizza. I'm not making this up. Sorry.
He's just spreading the virus around.
Yeah, it's my office, though, so who cares? So look, I'm showing Rod my thing. So it says, Ryan's out the door. Ryan's there instantaneously. Of course, he wasn't here.
Sure.
So I'm waiting. Half an hour after it says he arrived, I call the store. And like, oh, there was a glitch in the system. It used our address as yours. And I said, didn't call me? Because nobody went, hey, wait a minute. Dave here? So anyway, he finally arrives like an hour and a half after we ordered it. And I used the blue gloves. That's a whole story to tell you that I wore blue gloves to hand a guy a $5 bill.
Yeah. Well, you know, hopefully the FBI didn't hire the Dominos Pizza app guy.
Jeez. Who said this wasn't scintillating radio? I handed him a $5 bill. He said, great, thanks, man, because some people have been really, because people are chintzy now with the no contact. So they're like, well, I don't know how to give you a tip because we can't touch anything, right? So I guess they're not getting tips. I have noticed over the last couple of days that ours have gone way down. But the interesting thing about it is I had a guy give me a tip the other night. It wasn't a tip. It was a gratuity. I want to be clear about that. But he hands it to me in a plastic bag, right? So like a plastic bag, he gives me, and I'm looking at him like, why would you do that?
To contain the germs that are on the dollar bill or what? What about
the germs that are now on the plastic bag?
Yeah.
So I was like, I wasn't going to say, keep your lousy money, but it's kind of like, well, people are not thinking. And that's what's driving me nuts about this whole coronavirus thing is it's like we're just doing stupid things because we think that's what we should, buying toilet paper.
Yeah.
I still have people buying toilet paper. I still have people that are, their entire order is nothing but toilet paper.
That's ridiculous.
I know. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. The coronavirus, the COVID-19 does not cause diarrhea.
No.
It's one of the things it doesn't do to you. But these people are still buying and buying and buying toilet paper. That just amazes me that people panic. I think it's, there is an emotional response to seeing empty shelves, right? Walking into a store and seeing a ton of empty shelves does evoke some kind of emotional response that you like think, okay, no, I'm going to have to get some now. Right. I mean, I bought some the other day because we actually needed it. Yeah. So there were two 6-packs left on the shelf. So I picked up one thinking I'm not going to be that bleep hole that buys the last two when we don't need it. I bought two. I don't get it. I don't get why we're not thinking. But then again, why would we? Our government's not thinking either. They can't. No. This whole reaction has become bizarre. Which brings me down to item number two that I have benefited from here. It has allowed me to get rid of guests in my home that I don't want.
And the peasants rejoiced.
And they did. It is, I mean, whether I think this whole thing is ridiculous or not, at least I've been able to say to people, thou are not coming in.
Yeah.
And that has been pleasant. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I probably shouldn't take so much pleasure in that. And I probably shouldn't enjoy it as much as I do, but for some reason, I do that. I guess the third thing that I'm looking at this, and that is, I've begun to look at this. The more the numbers roll in, the more it's obvious to me that we corporately, perhaps not you directly, FBI, but me, but the country has badly overreacted. Yes. That said, what if we look at this as an exercise, a drill? Remember back in 2001, after 9/11, going into the first Gulf War, when the first Gulf War, the second Gulf War. Well, anyway, when they were throwing Scuds at Israel and everybody was concerned about the gas attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember when everybody was buying duct tape and plastic sheeting?
Oh, yeah.
Most people have forgotten that. Most people are like, oh yeah, I vaguely remember that. What if this is that kind of a drill where people are going, okay, what if this was a really not just infectious, but actually dangerous virus? And I'm not saying that it's not dangerous. I'm not saying that it is dangerous. I'm saying that the numbers do not support the reaction. That's all I'm saying. Much like Ebola in 2014, the numbers, the actual science does not support the reaction. Now, that said, I get the whole flatten the curve so we don't overwhelm the emergency rooms, because we live in a country where people go to the emergency rooms for, what's the word for it, Rod?
I think it's
stupid things.
Yeah.
Like calling 911 because McDonald's is out of McNuggets. Kind of. We live in that society where people go to the emergency room because, the last time I went to the emergency room, for me personally, was when I broke my hand. Okay, shattered my hand playing hockey, but it was this hand. So I get to the emergency room. I sit there for 40 minutes. They finally take me back. They x-ray my hand. The guy comes out and says, I can't tell you if your hand is broken in 6 places because I'm just a radiologist, but I can't tell you that. You're going to have to come, go see your specialist. I'm like, okay, what do I do in the meantime? He says, well, here's a splint. Go home.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my doctor later on. And he's like, why would you even go to the emergency room for that? You're going to have to come in here. Why don't you just come in here? Okay. So we took Ben when he had his pneumonia attack. But other than that, we don't go to the emergency room because really there's no reason to, for the most part. Heart attack, something like that, maybe we would. But this country, man, people go to the emergency room for stupid crap.
Oh, yeah.
And it's no wonder they're concerned about that, because every time somebody has a cough now, if we let them, they're just going to run to the emergency room.
Well, you've got people calling 911 on their neighbors because their neighbors are coughing.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. What kind of BI do you have to be to do that?
Oh, I'm speechless.
I lived in Southwest Modesto for a year. By choice. I actually lived over in the airport district for a year. Not going to go into why. It doesn't really matter. Bottom line is I lived there for a year. And
you're a brave man.
So one day there was something going on outside, and I picked up the phone, and the person I was living with started laughing. She says, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to call 911. She starts laughing. She says, cops aren't going to come here. I looked at her and said, why not? She says, because they don't come here. This kind of stuff. I said, watch this. And so you know what I used to do, right? So I called the deputy chief, who happened to be one of my best friends. Minute and a half later, there's a cop there. They all looked at me like, holy crap. Anyway,
it's all about who you know.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is it's all about who you know. And these people don't know anybody, so they go to the emergency room because, and I can see where the doctors and the medical people are concerned, because that's going to overwhelm things, because they have to react with a certain protocol.
Well, and keep in mind, the flu is still going around. It is flu season.
Which is highly infectious.
Anytime anyone's getting sick, oh my gosh, it's COVID. I need to go get tested.
Do you have diarrhea?
Yeah.
Have you seen how they do this test? Oh my God.
It's like some kind of invasive swab of the nose and stuff.
And my wife, who is a nurse, was like, they're not doing that to me, because she's had brain surgery, or half her head has been reconstructed. She's like, they're not doing that to me. If they want to test me, if they think I've been exposed, we're just going to go 2 weeks of quarantine.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but how is there no blood test for this?
I don't know. The virus only live in the nose?
It seems like that's the way they're treating it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it should. I mean, it's got to, because the antibodies have to be in your blood, not your.
I would think that you could do a blood test.
I would think, but it seems to me that would be easier and cheaper, but because aren't they just, I don't know. I'm talking about things I don't know anything about. FBI, no. I don't know anything about this, so don't listen to me. Aren't they just
and I'm not
it?
Downloading your stinking app.
Right. Oh, but of course I am later when Rod's not here. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He said knowingly. But don't they just grow a culture out of it? I mean, isn't that what they do with it?
Well, that I don't know.
Well, what the hell else would they be testing it for?
I've seen machines, so they have these little things that they stick these little cartridges in, kind of like an Atari video game, where they plug a little cartridge in and it runs some test. But do they put the swab in there? I have no idea.
You know what? I got the whole power of the internet right here in front of me, and apparently we're not going where I thought we were going, so why am I not looking this up? Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Testing. Laboratory tests, which can identify it in respiratory specimens. Here's detect COVID-19 in little as 5 minutes. I don't know. So let's go to the CDC site, right? Because that's the important one. Oh, here's a corona self-checker. Wait, what?
For one small minimal fee.
This project was made possible through a partnership with the CDC Foundation and enabled by Microsoft's Azure platform. So if I agree with this, am I giving all my information to Microsoft?
Yeah, good question.
Well, let's click on I agree just because. Are you ill? Are you caring for someone who is ill? No. Sounds like you're feeling okay. Well, there you go. I don't have the coronavirus. I took the official CDC authorized self-checker, and I do not have coronavirus.
Oh, what a waste.
There you go. How to get tested. If you have symptoms, try calling your, if you want to get tested, try calling your state or local health department or medical provider.
Not 911.
Well, by the way, if you test negative, that doesn't mean you won't get it.
Yeah. It's only a snapshot in time.
Right. It just means you haven't gotten it yet.
Well, and if they're just doing the nose swab, they're not testing for antibodies like that you could have had it.
Man. See, I come back to they should be doing this with blood, right? It doesn't make any sense to me. But what do I know? I am not a medical professional. Don't listen to me about this. I do, however.
I don't play one on TV either, so.
My initials are DR, and I have a nickname Doc, but it doesn't mean what you think it means, but there you go. I'm baffled by this whole reaction because, again, the numbers are coming in. So I personally am treating it like it's a test run for when we have a real one.
Yeah.
But what scares me, Rod, is, okay, let's say you're old enough to remember in 75, 76, the swine flu virus. Remember this one?
Vaguely.
President Ford, there was once a guy by the name of President Ford.
Yeah, I remember that.
He actually fell down some airplane stairs once and created Chevy Chase. He actually made a big deal about getting a shot for the swine flu vaccine. Personally, I mean, there's pictures. You can go Google this stuff. You can look it up. He got his shot. I don't think it was live on TV because we didn't do that back then. You know, we just didn't broadcast presidents doing stupid crap. But
yeah,
he got a shot, and I know there's White House photos of it and blah, blah, blah. And this was supposed to be, geez, I remember the fear of the swine flu in 75 was, I mean, people were crying. I remember my teacher crying about it because so many of you students might get this and then you might die and I'll never see you again. That's a hell of a thing to say to fifth graders, sixth graders, whatever we were, seventh graders. I mean, thanks. I mean, not like I don't have self-esteem issues already.
Yeah.
And of course there were some of we didn't call them goths back then, but you know those people. And they were like, well, where do I go get this? It's a joke. People relax.
Yeah.
So, and swine flu turned out to be nothing.
Yeah.
It was like 4 people got it.
Yeah.
If that. And one of them might have been President Ford.
Yeah.
So what I'm worried about is what happens if this does turn out to be nothing. Does the government, choose to continue to remind us that, you know, it's only because we took actions that it turned out to be nothing, or B, do what the government usually does, which is argue with each other about who was right and who was wrong. And
I can probably guarantee you that the president of California is going to come out and take credit for the stopping the virus.
The president of El Presidente.
El Presidente.
Oh my gosh. I've seen more and more of that kind of stuff. So Gavin's getting a little big for his britches, is he?
Yeah. He's. I'm pretty sure he's going to be running for president the next time around.
So what's he doing now to make himself president? I don't follow California news anymore, man.
He's pretty much. I mean, albeit he took the lead and said, "Hey, we need to stay at home. We really need to take this seriously." And so I think California was one of the first few states that did the stay-at-home order. And he's coming out. I think it's almost a daily briefing in a way, talking to reporters and telling people that, what the situation is.
Has MSNBC recommended not airing his briefings yet?
No, I haven't seen that.
Well, how are they fact-checking him in real time?
Oh, well, do they ever fact check?
Well, no,
really?
That's why they don't want to broadcast Trump's daily briefings anymore, because they, quote, cannot fact check him in real time. Well, wouldn't that apply to every press conference?
It should apply to every politician.
I would think every press conference. I mean, the Houston Astros might have a press conference where they deny cheating.
Yeah. I remember that.
They might. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. Bill Gates might have a press conference.
Yeah. Well, the Google search only works so fast because, everyone's on the internet now. And so the internet's slowing down.
Okay. You would know about this. So there is a story out here today from Pop Science, I think it is, has the story about how these networks are staying alive because, like you said, everybody is using it. How are they doing this? I haven't noticed much of a slowdown on mine.
The slowdown is primarily with a lot of the, business type of telecommuting services you're seeing from like WebEx is one, GoToMeeting, things like that. I've noticed service declines in those types of services. But the overall internet, the usage is up. I'm not seeing it because I pay for fast internet, so I don't have a problem. I haven't had a problem, but.
Well, aren't you special? No, I do the same thing. So. But how long will that go on? Huh? How long will people continue to say, well, how come he gets fast internet? Because he didn't lose his job.
Yeah. Well, we're essential employees.
You know what we need? Yeah. I mean, isn't that just like a blow to people? It's like, well, how come you're still going to work? Because I'm essential.
Oh, yeah.
What do? Well, I clean toilets at the FBI.
Yeah. I write their business app, their health fitness app.
Sooner or later, people are going to go, why is that person essential and I'm not essential? And the damage that's being done is it's insane. But I said
that's my concern, though.
Yeah. I said this the other day. I have a bad feeling about this whole thing because I feel like, much like the Alex Joneses and Hal Turners of the world and DC Clotheslines of the world, the response of the government is going to be, well, it would have been worse if you hadn't listened to us and done what we told you to do, even though people aren't doing it. People are, I guess down in Florida, they're having to have police clear the beaches.
What? Yeah, it could be worse. You could be in Italy.
That's true. You could be, but
you could have the Italian mayors yelling at you.
Yeah. You cannot play ping pong here. Did you see the one with the guy that's threatened to, so the Italian mayors, there's a video out there. You should Google this. The Italian mayors yelling at people to stay home. So one of them's out there yelling at people on playing ping pong. Okay, you cannot play ping pong here.
Out on the beach somewhere. Yeah, it was like no one was around.
I want that T-shirt. You cannot play ping pong here. But there's another one where this guy is like, he looks like he's right out of the mob. I mean, he is like, I'm making you an offer you can't refuse. Stay inside. And then there's one where the guy's just going bananas. I mean, he is just literally, he has lost it. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's talking about grabbing a flamethrower and chasing people inside. Dude, I would pay money to see that. I really would.
I wonder if he's related to Mussolini.
You can make a game show out of that, right? Stay outside for money. Whoever stays outside the longest with And now we're going to, remember, what's the movie? Running Man, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have different mayors chase you with their different systems, right? So this mayor is going to bring the mob. This mayor is going to do that. And then the flamethrower mayor.
Yeah.
Played by Jim Brown, no less. God, that would be perfect.
That's an awesome game show.
We've got it, man. We've got it. And if you survive, you get to go to, I don't know, Corsica or somewhere, some Italian island that nobody's on.
You get to take a cruise.
Right. No, last year's losers. Bella Habib and Dodd. Why, it's sad that I remember that, isn't it? Isn't Bella Habib a model?
Bella Hadid.
Oh, well, there you go. So it's not the right one.
No.
I got away with it, people. Stop sending me your emails. Anyway, I'm concerned that we're going to act like the problem is we're not going to learn nothing from this. And so when there really is a reason to lock us down, because again, I'm not convinced that there is right now, but when there really is a reason to do it, when there really is a reason to be afraid, when there really is a reason to be concerned and take action, we're just going to go, it's just the government overreacting again.
Yeah. I think that's probably the biggest concern of going to the nth degree that we have so far. And yeah, it's warranted in certain circumstances and certain age groups should probably remain indoors.
Agreed. But isn't that kind of, see, and the government's reaction to this, every time someone says that, okay, maybe we're overreacting and maybe we need to relax a little bit here. Maybe we need to pull back a little bit. The reaction is universal. You want people to die. You're crazy. You're not taking this seriously. Instead of going, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we need to back off a little, and that, to me, that's going to hurt the government next time because we're going to set the precedent that this is their reaction. This is what we do. And so we're going to do it again.
And so how do they take control when people aren't listening to them?
You send out the mayor with the flamethrower.
Yep.
Or police with guns.
Yeah.
Or FBI agents with PT gear.
Or National Guard.
Oh, there's another touchy issue, isn't it? Why are we nationalizing the National Guard for this?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I get it. The National Guard can do some things, but every one of these governors that's demanding this, you know why the governors, Cuomo, are yelling at the president for this, right? There's one simple reason why. They don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
So your state would rather continue to pour money down whatever stupid drain they're pouring it down than actually pay for the National Guard, which the reason they have it is to do stuff like this and help people.
California actually activated theirs, and they are using them to help those that are stuck in their homes.
Help them what?
I've seen that they're like helping to provide services or whatever. I guess, Instacart isn't good enough to get the
Well, now the
groceries
Instacart people are going on strike. Did you see this? The Instacart people are going on strike on Monday. So if you're going to order from Instacart, I would not recommend you do that, but I would recommend that you order from Safeway, but that's, it's not a plug. It's not a commercial. I'm just saying we do it better.
We don't have a Safeway in Oakdale, so.
But you have an Albertsons around there, right?
We have what?
An Albertsons?
No.
Good Lord. Where's Oakdale? On the frickin' far side of Mars or something?
We're the cowboy capital of the world.
Yeah, Laramie might disagree, but anyways, point being that there are other options, but Instacart, I guess the workers are going on strike. The reason they're going on strike is
they don't have, or the company's not providing them enough protective gear from what I saw.
That's what they're saying. We're not getting enough protective gear. Well, I don't really know what you want. I mean, gloves, sanitizer, 6 feet. What exactly is it that they want them to provide? Because I don't know.
I don't know either.
I tried to read the article, but I lost interest after a while. That, and I didn't want the FBI watching me doing it. So,
wow. Yeah, you've got those cookies.
Yeah, and not the good kind either. They've got raisins in them, which are nasty. Anyway, point being, they're going to go on strike, and now you're hurting people again. Isn't the argument that these companies, that there aren't any of these protective gear things to be had? I mean, you can't buy a bottle of
the
sanitizer
hospitals
anymore.
are struggling to get the masks and supplies.
Right.
So how are these companies going to get them?
Instacart, which is a contract business, the gig business.
Yeah.
Gig economy business. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. And really, who's going to see your strike? Because where are you going to do it?
Yeah. Where are you going to pick it?
Take over their website and we're on strike, or like a rolling banner across the thing or something. I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, it's funny because I actually tried them for the first time today, but their website was down this morning. It was down.
I will tell you that it has stressed our system. Our system is out. They're out almost 2 weeks now before you can get an order.
Yeah.
So, but I don't consider that to be all that bad. I mean, from my point of view, that's
the 2 weeks guaranteed work.
It's kind of positive for where I look at it, but at the same time, I see where it gets frustrating, which is probably why this guy was having a conniption fit about his rock. But I let it go. I'm calm now.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
Yes. Please, Lord, don't let me kill anybody today. I drink coffee so that others might live. It was kind of a mess, man. It's been a strange week, and I don't think it's going to get any more normal. And now they're talking about extending this out into July.
Are they up there?
The president is talking about Easter, which, again, every time he says this, everybody that hates the president goes bananas. He wants people to die. But at the same time, then they're turning around talking about, well, this is going to continue till July. Well, really? I mean, how many stimulus checks are they going to send us?
Not more than the one.
Right. But if everybody stays out of work for March, April, May, June, July, for four full months, how is that check going to help them?
It's not.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen one car company now that's saying, if you buy a car now, you won't have to make a payment until this coronavirus thing is over. Thinking, what if it goes on for a year?
Well, there you go.
I could buy a car today, drive it for a year or several months anyway. I mean, I'm surprised more companies aren't doing that. We did get a call from our mortgage holder the other day. Any problems? We're like, no, we'll be all right. Because between Cammy's, unless Cammy gets quarantined, or actually gets it, which God forbid, we'll be fine. But I know a lot of people won't be.
Yeah. No, I can tell that, from where we're at, we're a single income family. And so if I were to get it, that would be tough. But
disaster. Well, I'm concerned about this going on much longer, again, because I've said this before, whether people want me to go out on they keep emailing my other show, Dave, this whole thing is fake. Why aren't you saying it's fake? Because I don't know that it's fake. I don't think it's fake. I think there really is a COVID-19 disease caused by the coronavirus. Yeah. I just don't know. I think stuff like this scares people. It's the same thing with the Ebola virus from 2014. People were losing their freaking minds. People that are otherwise normal human beings were losing their freaking minds. And it was being egged on by people like Sean Hannity, who was just convinced that millions of Americans were going to die from this. The numbers didn't back, and anybody I'm not a great mathematician, but I can look at numbers and see what's going on. Yeah. It's not all that different from baseball. And I understand that there are curves and that kind of stuff, and I get all that, but these numbers do not support the reaction we're doing right now. And that's what bothers me. It's certainly not for another 6 months. Even if you could argue, and I know you could argue, all right, through the end of April, all right, fine. But I don't see how you extend it beyond that. I really don't. Not in good conscience.
No. And they're going to start looking at the economic impact. I mean, they've already started talking about that, and everyone's 401k is pretty much, at least down by a third right now. And that's going to continue to get worse the longer we're not working.
Right. But if you say that, do you'll be screeched at by those who are just absolutely convinced that this is the end of the world. How can you say that? You want people to die.
Well, that's a gross assumption on their part.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a very Vanessa Hudgens assumption.
Yeah.
Could be bad. People are going to die. Well, I know that.
Well,
but
everyone dies. Sorry.
it's true. God, trying to explain this to Ben the other day in the car, it's like, why is this that was his question. Why is this such a big deal? And, I'm 57. I grew up with grandparents and parents that lived through the Depression and World War II. And, I remember Vietnam. I remember all that stuff. And, having served through the Cold War and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know why. Why is it a big deal? It's clearly not the end of the world. And the only way to know for sure is to have a redo where we don't do all this stuff, to get a control group and see what happens. But they're not going to let us do that.
No.
So
personal words of advice. If you want to not panic the next time this happens, make sure you have some emergency food supplies and, heaven's sake, store some toilet paper somewhere.
So for weeks, and I mean weeks, probably since, what is this? This is March, probably since January. Cammie and I have had this, I wouldn't call it an argument because it's not, but this ongoing discussion about we don't need to buy any more crap to put in our freezer. Our freezers are stuffed. They're full. They're overflowing. Right? So guess what? We're working our way through our freezer now.
Yeah.
And it's been fine. I haven't lost any weight, I'll tell you that. So
there you go.
Must be okay. Because if it wasn't, well, it would be a problem, right?
Oh, it's the people that don't think about it and don't think ahead and don't prepare that are the ones that are clearing the shelves of, beans and rice and flour.
Sugar beets. Red beets.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten those since I was a kid, and not sure I would now anyway.
Nope.
I'd just say, well, I guess I'm on a diet. Because that's where I would want to go. So we were supposed to spend a day talking about, so one of the jokes making around where I live is, when I live on the internet, is, how much submariners are ready for this, right? Because living in a confined space and for months on end. So we were going to do this, how to simulate submarine life at home.
Okay.
Today. But I think we're just about out of time, and we didn't even come close to that thanks to the FBI.
Yeah. Thank you, FBI.
Thanks, FBI. Way to ruin a show. Way to step up to the plate and just screw everything up. FBI. Well, I guess we shouldn't really blame them. Probably shouldn't do that, although we could. I mean, we could make it clear that they are the problem.
Yeah. Their app anyway.
Anyway, if you do by chance download the app, then let me know. We did do the CDC test for you on air.
Yeah.
As it turns out, if you're not sick, they don't want to hear from you. They're just going to tell you, you're fine, go home.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a Navy corpsman. Here's some Motrin. Go away. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, my God. That's how the Navy would deal with this whole thing. Here's some Motrin. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what? Go back to work, dummy. We shall do that. Well, Rod, I guess next week we'll do the submarine stuff.
Sounds good. We're going to still be here.
That's the problem, is we're still going to be here, isn't it?
Yep.
I have that to look forward to. Yet another week. On the plus side, well, there really is no plus side, is there? I'm Dave.
I'm Rod.
We'll see y'all next week. Have a great week, everybody. Stay sane. Stay safe. Stay indoors.